Welcome. You've got mail.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I am bringing you another episode in my interior design in film series. And I'm so excited because we are going to be talking about the apartment in You've Got Mail.
I turn on my computer. I go online.
Welcome.
And my breath catches in my chest until I hear three little words. You've got mail.
The movie is now one of the most iconic rom-coms of the 90s. It stars Meg Ryan as Kathleen Kelly and Tom Hanks as Joe Fox, and is directed by the legend Nora Ephron. The movie came out in December of 1998. You've Got Mail is actually an adaptation of the play Parfumerie, and it's actually not the first film to adapt this play. For in 1940, a movie by the title The Shop Around the Corner adapted the play as well. For those of you who may not be quite familiar with the storyline, the movie follows Meg Ryan's character, Kathleen Kelly, who is a struggling boutique bookseller, and her feud with Joe Fox, Tom Hanks' character, who is the owner of the corporate store Fox Books, which is a chain store opening a new location right across the street from Kathleen's own bookstore. However, things take a turn when Kathleen and Joe meet anonymously online and become sort of pen pals, writing mails to each other without knowing who the person on the other side of the screen is. This leads to an anonymous internet romance, with both characters being oblivious of each other's true identity. Now, the film has several beautiful filming locations and sets, but today we're going to be focusing on two of my all-time favorite, which are Kathleen's New York apartment and of course her little bookstore, The Shop Around the Corner. Before I get further into today's video, I do want to give a huge shout out to a blog post that I found online with most of the information that I'm going to be mentioning today, and that is Between Naps on the Porch. They have an amazing, extremely detailed blog post about said apartment, and I didn't want to go further without mentioning it. I will leave it linked in the description box down below so that you guys can go ahead and check it out. Starting off with Kathleen's beautiful New York apartment, I want to talk a little bit about the layout, the location, and then we'll go into detail about the beautiful home. The filming for the movie took place in the Upper West Side of New York City, and here is where Meg Ryan's character lives in a beautiful brownstone apartment. Kathleen's home is the embodiment of true coziness, and I think it's the kind of apartment that so many New Yorkers and people in general dream of in the city. Most of the film does take place in Kathleen's home, so between all the scenes you can kind of get a good idea of the layout. By the architectural detailing of the home, you can tell that said brownstone was built around late 1800s going into early 1900s. Buildings back then were filled to the brim with the most beautiful architectural detailing and interest. The attention to detail is something that is hard to come by in today's new builds. The apartment has an extremely thoughtful and effective layout. Every room feels like its own unique space and makes use of each corner to the fullest. However, the apartment itself is pretty open concept and has a natural flow that leads you from one open space to the other. By the entrance, one would walk into a beautiful dining room with the kitchen just behind it. Moving from there, the home transitions into the living room and hangout area, which connects to a secondary living room, doubling as a study/office space. This room is wrapped with an incredible bay window and leads straight into Kathleen's bedroom and bathroom. It is quite a large space, and the attention to detail around is outstanding. From the railings, crown molding, wall treatments, hardwood floors, tiling, this apartment is nothing short of spectacular. Now, let's get into the style of the home. It is a 90s dream done with class and beauty. Kathleen's home has an English country cottage feel, and it blends beautiful, delicate, and feminine details with more rustic and lived-in touches. There is always that juxtaposition. We have the elegant wainscoting and wall treatments and more feminine wallpaper, but then raw, exposed woods, vintage touches, and most importantly, lots of character. No matter where you look, the home has a story to tell. And huge props to the set decorators and production designers for thinking of every last little detail. The apartment feels lived in. It has countless books and trinkets, pictures, art, vases, and it radiates the character's personality. Something very important that I want to point out in this home is the use of lighting. I have talked time and time again about the importance of lighting in your home and the impact it has when you bring that warmth into your space. This apartment has no shortage of table lamps, sconces, floor lamps, and it uses set lighting to create depth and warmth and gives the apartment a vast dimension. Now, if you wanted to recreate this look into your space, here are some tips I would try to incorporate. The first would be to bring in warm wood tones. You will see that the apartment has a lot of those orangey wood tones that we would so commonly see in the 90s, and it is a great way to add warmth and that homey feel into your space. Collect books, whether that's thrifting, books that you already have. You can go to antique stores, but this kind of apartment is full to the brim with books, and that is something that you can easily incorporate on a budget into your own space. Layer your pieces, whether that's pillows, blankets, quilts, through the art, through the lighting, lots and lots of layers. Try, if you can, to add some architectural detailing. I recently did a bedroom transformation where you could say that I did just that. I added some molding onto my walls to give it a little bit more of that interest and homey feel, and it did wonders for my space. So if you can, add some molding, some wainscoting, some crown molding, anything that can dress up your walls and give it that architectural interest that homes back then used to have. Use warm paints and wallpapers. Try to steer away from cool tones and colder shades such as gray or bright whites. And finally, make your house feel like home. Homes are supposed to be lived in. The apartment in this movie feels like it has a story to tell, and us as an audience, just by looking around the spaces, feel like it has been lived in, and it is an extension of Kathleen's character. Kathleen's home has incredible common areas, and her character makes use of these spaces wonderfully. The home is full of charm and unexpected moves. From placing a table lamp in front of her kitchen window, to gallery walls, to placing a desk in the middle of the room, Kathleen's apartment makes use of the space in a way that feels authentic to her character, her necessities, her personality, and her lifestyle. I especially love the use of wainscoting around the house and the beautiful wallpaper which transitions one room into the other. It's details like this that add immense amounts of charm to a home. It's not just plain white walls, it has character, and it is very reminiscent of apartments in the 90s. I want to also point out the beautifully layered sitting areas. From the floral couch to the countless pillows and cozy reading nooks, there is big attention to detail in the textiles used throughout the home. The chairs and couches have skirts, which will always be a traditional look. The mix of patterns and textures on the pillows give the sitting so much character and are a great way to incorporate visual interest into any space. And I think the use of textiles is the perfect segue into the bedroom, for its unique touches through the fabrics and materials are accentuated to the fullest in here. Kathleen's bed looks extremely cozy and inviting. It is full, it is fluffy, and it radiates comfort. She incorporates very delicate details such as the ruffles and the florals and pastels, and does so in an elegant yet true to character way. The striped padded headboard ties everything together and truly helps ground the bed. Throughout the movie, we can see the sheets change and swap, always remaining beautiful, colorful, delicate, and intricate. And it doesn't stop on just the bed. We can see interesting uses of textiles in things such as the lampshade, which has an incredible pleated look to it and adds that extra layer of warmth and interest into the room. For those of us who have seen You've Got Mail countless times, one of the many reasons we fell in love with the film was the magic that radiated from the shop around the corner. One of the big points of the film is how the key difference from Kathleen's bookstore and a big chain store such as Fox & Sons Books is the feeling of home and community, or lack thereof. The shop around the corner radiates a welcoming and inviting aura. And it's a space where people from the community love to come together. It's a space that goes above just consumerism, but a space that feels like a home away from home. Growing up, I used to dream about not only living in an apartment such as Kathleen's, but also visiting a bookstore like the shop around the corner. And it's all because of the charm. It felt extremely inviting and cozy. The layout is again very thoughtful and practical. The books are not only on shelves around the walls, but on islands floating in the middle of the store. It has character and a small town feel, and it's all hidden away in a shop around the corner in the middle of the big city. You've Got Mail has that 90s rom-com magic. It is a classic and a film that a lot of us love to go back to time and time again. And a big part of that is the feeling that we get when we spend time in these places. When we spend time with Kathleen in her store and when we spend time with Kathleen in her home. The traditional look in the apartment now has a sense of nostalgia attached to it, and it's a feeling which can be hard to recreate in rom-coms nowadays. It's that magic that we feel when watching these films that makes us dream about these locations and makes us fall in love with its interiors time and time again. But that is gonna be it for today's video, everyone. I had the best time making this one for you guys. My interior design and film series is some of my favorite content to make for you guys. I always have the best time rewatching these films, and I love sharing with everyone the love and passion that I have, not just for interior design, but also for film. These videos always open up the most amazing discussions in the comments down below. I always end up reading the most incredible stories and your own personal experiences with these films. So definitely let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of not only the film, but the interiors in You've Got Mail, what you think of this video, and any other thoughts you may have about the film. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. You guys can hit the bell button down below to be notified every single time I make a new upload. That way you don't miss any videos from me. But with that, we wrap today's episode of Interior Design in Film, talking about the apartment in You've Got Mail. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.